Hello, guys,
Hey, guys.
and welcome to this.
Wait, what about James?
I forgot.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Just ran right through it.
I'm sorry, James. Listen. I'm so tired after the day I had that
We're
I was.
completely exhausted.
Yeah, we've been listening to children scream all day long, so I'm sorry, James. My ears are
That's okay.
just.
Okay. Good conversation. Let's introduce the show, babe.
Welcome to the 13th Floor Podcast. I'm Cece.
I'm Alex.
I'm James.
And today we're talking about
I almost forgot.
oceanic oddities.
Yeah.
And this topic was inspired by James. Did anybody ask for this?
Sort of. We got a request for thalassophobia, and I just sort of made it a little different just because sharks are... It's hard to milk sharks, literally and figuratively.
There you go. And you know what? Thalassophobia is something that I personally have myself. I have a coworker. He's amazing, but he does deep sea diving. And he had this photo when he first introduced himself to the team. It's just him in the ocean. And it's like, you know, you could see him, but it's just nothing but black. He's just floating in his little, I guess, scuba gear. And I was like, man, that looks terrifying. Yeah. People say it's counterintuitive for a Pisces to be afraid of the ocean, but I sure am. James?
Well, to be fair, the ocean is full of fish being eaten by other fish, so
Exactly.
if I was a fish, I'd be scared of the ocean.
There you go, James. Thank you for making it reasonable and logical. Alex, how you been?
I'm good. I'm here. I'm existing one day at a time at this point.
Yeah, you know, it's with it being so close to the holidays, I think that we're just, you know, we've got that holiday overwhelm going on right now. Hi, May.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Today we hosted my daughter's second grade holiday party at school. So that
went
was
well.
It did. It actually went very well, and the kids were very respectful. So kudos to all the parents of the second grade class for my daughter's privacy. I won't say the name of her teacher, but y'all are doing great.
Dox that teacher. Go for it.
James, what have you been up to as you prepare for the holidays next week?
I'm finally done with my Christmas shopping. All I have left to do is to buy a lot of bags with the little paper to put them in because I don't know how to fold a piece of paper
That's
in half,
what I want to do.
let alone wrap a gift.
That's what I want to do for the kids' presents at this point.
It's not fun, though, to just pull something out
You
of
know
a
what's
bag.
I agree.
also not fun?
I agree.
Wrapping.
I know. It's
So
not.
let's just
Yeah.
all not have fun and be thankful for what we get.
Here's the thing, James. I feel like if you were to just give me the present in a Target bag, I would be just as happy.
Yeah.
I don't think there are any expectations when it comes to wrappings.
The bag. Yeah.
Yeah, as
I
like when
get
you're an
that.
adult, it's not that serious. But I feel like for a kid, it's better to rip open something, you know?
Yeah, it's weird. I have this weird hang up when I unwrap gifts where I don't want to rip. Like I want to be very gentle and respectful.
Oh my
even
gosh.
though it's going in the trash. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why I'm like that.
I don't know why you're like that either, James. I just want to rip right through it. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to know what's in this package.
No
I
one
have
can
no
explain
idea what that's about.
And then Alex is over here like, just give me a bag.
This'll-
It's less work.
Let's wrap it up.
I feel like that. I feel like that is a good indication of all of our personalities because James is very methodical. I don't know what I am, but Alex is very much about convenience.
I mean, there is an appeal to opening a present, but like, I don't know. I feel like my back's already broken. Like, how much more do you need from me at this point?
Oh goodness.
Well, James,
well-
do we have an icebreaker?
We do. Since we are covering oceans, I thought, what is your most notable memory with regards to either oceans or, if you don't have one, water in general?
For a second, I thought you were going to ask us what our favorite ocean was, and I was like, I have no idea.
Hashtag Pacific. No.
I can go while you're...
Yeah, go.
I think I've even told mine before. I'm not sure if I have. I think I have.
Oh, I think I know this story, yeah.
Yeah, I went tubing out in the ocean with some family, and it was a good old time. I got thrown from the tube, and I was swimming back to the boat. No, not sweating it at all. And when I got out, I climbed the ladder, I got back in the boat, and I looked down just where I had just been. And I see this brown fin brush against the ladder where I had just been.
He almost got eaten by a shark.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of shark it was, but I tell you what, that was pretty scary. I've also seen a shark like close up one other time in the wild, and I was on jet skis in Destin, riding out in the ocean, and I was slow. I was taking the slow. When you get close to the beach, you go really slow for a good ways out. Like you're a good ways out, kind of slowly coming in, and I look down and I see a shark underneath me, just swimming. He's probably, I don't know, 10 feet down from where I am, but it's a little unsettling to see a shark directly underneath you.
Yeah, that would be pretty terrifying.
They're a lot faster than we are in the water, too, so 10 feet don't mean much.
Yeah, yeah. So, but, I had no problems with them. We had no beef.
I'm glad.
But yeah, so I've encountered sharks twice in the wild, so.
Interesting. I feel like I don't have like super exciting ocean stories because I haven't been to the ocean.
She stays away from water at all.
I do. I stay away from water, but I also haven't been to the ocean like too many times in my life. So I have this vivid memory. Well, I guess this is somewhat memory, but when I was very little, my parents took us to Myrtle Beach. Fairly certain that's where it was. And I remember my mom putting sunscreen on me that was like the colors, and they drew a whole bunch of like designs on our faces and stuff to like make us look cool. But then we got sunburn in the places that had the designs were...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It wasn't too bad though, fortunately. But what I remember more than that is my cousin Bo eating sand. And me just sitting there thinking, what are you doing?
Eating sand.
Snap.
That's so funny.
I think my dad actually got it on camera too. So I think I have a home video of him eating sand. But aside from that, I have a vivid memory where we went to Fort Lauderdale and we were up in our hotel room on the balcony, and I was just looking down one morning and you could see what I'm assuming was a barracuda. It was a two giant fish swimming up the coastline. And there were all these people in the water, just had no idea, but these two giant fish just swim right past. I remember just in that moment thinking, I am never getting in the water ever again.
I think barracudas are more intimidating than sharks, just because they are so much more aggressive. They're like little wasps of the ocean.
I've also swam right next to a barracuda, which was horrifying.
I've come across one as well.
And there was one really close to me. And that was like, oh no.
Y'all like to live on the edge. James, I have a feeling you're going to have a really good story here.
Yeah. One really minor one. I remember one time diving for conch or conch, depending on how you want to say it, and making it into ceviche. So it was like as fresh as you could get. It was really good. But unrelated to that, I have a story that involves the much more affable cousins of sharks. I went swimming with stingrays on one occasion. And funny enough, this was shortly after one of my personal heroes, Steve Irwin, was killed by one. But very different species. I wasn't worried. And I was just so shocked. To me, it cemented how pleasant the ocean can be, because these things are like ocean puppies. They were, and granted, they knew they were going to get fed, so that's why they were so excited. But they were just so friendly and I would say aggressively affectionate, And I was surprised because sharks feel like sandpaper. These guys were so soft that it was kind of like, I don't want to kill you all, but I would like to make you into a suit. Like,
They are.
You
They
know,
have.
they're-
I know what you mean. I've pet a stingray at like a what's it called?
oh,
An
the
aquarium.
petting tanks.
Yeah, an aquarium. They are soft. They've got this. I don't know. It's hard to describe the feeling.
Yeah. That was real fun.
I like that, James. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
You know what else is awesome? Oceanic oddities. And today, our fearless leader, Alex, right?
I didn't know I was the leader. This is
Today
exciting.
you are.
This is exciting.
He's
Oh,
going
I'm
first.
going first.
Exactly. All right, Alex, what are you talking about today?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Mariana Trench. Now, I do feel like this is what I'm going to talk about is a little bit of like I feel like everybody's going to have heard a little bit about it. Mm-hmm. But I want to be honest, I was a little disappointed in how little I thought how little I knew because I thought I thought I knew more than I did, and I've disappointed myself by just basic cursory knowledge. But I think it's actually really interesting basic cursory knowledge. So I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories really because, there's aliens under the water. They're going to get you. We've explored less of the ocean than we have space, or whatever people say.
That one's not a conspiracy. That's the truth.
I know, but the truth, but the theory is that since we haven't explored the ocean, then
They're aliens.
then there's aliens. Not buying
gotcha.
it. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I think it's possible there's a megalodon, but I'm saying it's not happening. Also,
I would. Do you believe in the megalodon, Leo?
Sort of. I believe it existed, but I don't think there's enough calories for a population nowadays.
No. Maybe there's one out there. I like the idea.
yeah, I mean it's fun. To
You have thalassophobia, and you like the idea of the scariest ocean animal ever.
Listen,
Gosh.
I would be excited if somebody came back with a video of it. I'd be like, this just this is a good reason why I have thalassophobia.
How many people would it have to eat for you to be like, oh, I wish this didn't happen?
I don't want it to eat anybody. I don't want it to eat anybody. But
Yeah,
I
but
want
if
it
it ate
to
one
there.
person, you'd be like, wow, this is still the discovery of the century.
Yeah.
But then, like, if it ate three, we'd be like, I wish this never happened.
All right, whatever. Alex, tell us about the Mariana Trench.
I'd rather just go into hypotheticals about it for a while. Okay, but the Mariana Trench. Let's do some cursory knowledge, some fun facts that you would hear in elementary school about this place.
Woo!
You could, if you dropped Mount Everest into the Mariana Trench, the peak would still, you would still have a mile to go.
Of the summit.
Man,
Man.
crazy.
How warm is the Mariana Trench?
1 to 4 degrees Celsius.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that fictional temperature Celsius.
It's far from the sun.
It is far from the sun. It's also how you say dark in there.
I had a feeling.
There's not a lot of light as you would expect deep down in there, and so like a lot of the life is really just kind of fueled by the activity down there, like the volcanic activity and some of the vents and all that stuff. So like, it's the only real source of heat because there is no light getting down that deep. So that's kind of where a lot of the life is thought to have taken shape.
Woo.
Thanks to those little things. Kind of keep it alive down there, keep things moving.
Those aren't little things. Those are big things, Alex. Give them the credit they deserve.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, there are some pretty large things down there, but a lot of them, I'm split. So here's some of the zany things. I want people to look up if you've never looked them up. All right, these are the more fun things.
Okay.
We'll start off with the cute, the Dumbo octopus.
I've seen the Dumbo octopus on
It's so
Octonauts.
cute. It's adorable. Look at that thing.
It's pretty cute. I will say, if I saw that, if that swam up to me, I'd be like, You're adorable.
Octonauts also had the vampire squid, which was also very cool.
That one was a little more creepy.
I like that one. Here's a creepy one.
I don't like that at all.
Usually the picture you see for the frilled shark is kind of boring, and it looks like almost like it's AI generated. But if you actually look at the frilled shark up close, he's horrifying.
He looks like an ancient dinosaur shark.
Yeah, he does. He looks like a dinosaur shark. He's got like these
Not
weird
that far
rows
off,
of teeth.
really.
Yeah, but he's got these like weird rows of teeth, and not in the way that you think of a shark's teeth. Well, kind of.
Look like,
but it's like spaced out.
They look like the little prana mat lotuses.
Oh yeah, everyone can reference that.
Prana mat, in case you don't know. I don't have a code for it. I wish I did, so you could get a little discount. It's a little mat that you lay on that has these hard spikes, and it makes your back or body feel better. It's wonderful. It's
like these little rows of 3-pronged needles.
Yeah.
And it's just several different rows of them. It's so bizarre and awesome. You should look it up. The fish, the life that's been found the deepest, that holds the record, the snailfish. And you gotta say, you know what? Is a cutie patootie.
He looks like he's wearing a little birthday hat right here.
He looks like he's celebrating. I think it's another fish behind him.
I know.
Look at him. He's cute.
He's got a little beard. He looks like he could be my friend.
I'm glad it's not the blobfish, because that thing is hideous.
That thing's pretty creepy.
Okay, it's funny. The blobfish is not hideous when it's just swimming around. It's only when you pull them out of the water because of the pressure that they like turn into a blobfish. They're actually pretty cute when they're, not exploded.
I'm looking. I had to look this up. James, I don't know if cute, but you know what? He looks like the pout-pout fish.
He does look like the pout-pout fish.
Pout-pout fish from the pout-pout fish.
I spread the juries all over the place.
Yeah, all right. People with kids will know. Oh, man. Yeah. But what I thought was the most interesting thing is I had no idea. And again, this is maybe my lack of knowledge about just life in general, apparently. But apparently the largest single-cell organisms live down here. Guess the size. Hang on, before James chimes in. Guess the size, Cece.
2 centimeters.
An inch.
An inch? Yeah. What does it look like? Does it look like a little circle?
No. And I had a picture pulled up, ready to show you, and then I looked up the blobfish. So
you lost it.
There we go. That's it.
I don't like that. That looks like it's more than one cell. That's just a single cell.
It does look like one cell. Or it does look like more than one cell, but apparently it is.
How do you say this? Xenophilophoria?
Xenophilophoria. Yeah, Xenophilophoria. And it's supposedly the largest single-cell organism. And I was like, wow. I didn't know that they got that big. I thought they were all like...
Tiny,
whiny. Like little water bears. Or something. But they're not. So there's a little bit of knowledge for you regarding the animals down there. But one of my favorite animals... Yes, we have the anglerfish. Boring.
I love the anglerfish.
We've seen it in Finding Nemo. It's dull. You know what we haven't seen in Finding Nemo? People. All right. This one you have to look up for yourself. It's called the barrel eye fish. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
It is like a fish with a clear dome, like where its skull would be, like where you would picture a skull. And then with eyes floating inside the head.
Why does this exist? This thing looks like it wouldn't be real.
Yeah, it has a completely transparent head. Apparently it's filled with jelly.
It's a jellyfish fish combined.
And so it's got these little eyes but the weird thing is the eyes are inside the skull and they look through its clear part of its skull to look around. So its eyes are floating inside of its head, not exposed to anything, just looking around.
How old do these things live, and how big are they?
I'm going to be honest, I don't think there's any way they know the answer to this.
Nah,
but I will look it up. Anything down here is completely speculative as far as I'm concerned. Except for the stuff that they physically see like this. But they still can't keep track of it.
It looks terrifying.
It's so
weird. Yeah.
Yep.
We know so little about them.
Let's see how...
You don't have to look it up. We'll look it up later.
I'm looking it up. How old? All right. Oh, I clicked on AI mode. No.
You're gonna get a weird hallucination.
It's currently unknown to
science. So we were right, James. There's no way they can know that.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we don't really know much about how they breed or what their young are like. I mean,
we don't know much about anything.
That's because you can't bring them up to the surface because they're used to having all that pressure on their bodies.
Yeah. I mean, in order to observe any of these things, you basically need a very specialized submersible. So it's it's like going to space.
And you know what? They're still discovering a lot of new stuff, just like when you go to space.
Yeah.
This year, a Chinese expedition went and found the furthest down colonies of, anything. Animal communities is what they're calling them. 10 kilometers down, they found thousands of worms and mollusks just clustered together. So, pretty cool. And then allegedly 7,000 new microbial species they discovered.
Wow.
Pretty
now,
awesome.
The Mariana Trench is supposedly the deepest.
It is.
How do we know that? If there's other areas that we haven't explored.
Let's be real, we don't. But that's what we think. I think there's a very strong possibility there's something we've missed.
Okay.
Something with a layer of something on top, and you just penetrate it, and you just keep going.
Oh my god!
What do you think, James? What's your theory on that?
I was gonna say that's very unlikely until you said, maybe there's a layer of something, and once you go past it, it wouldn't be that different from Mammoth Cave, except under the ocean. You wouldn't really know unless you found the entrance.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, I converted James.
Wow.
But another thing that I found cool was all the expeditions that have taken place to go on down there.
Yeah.
And I was familiar that James Cameron had gone down there, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of how momentous it actually was. And it's a really big deal that he did that. Because first off, at the time, before I started my research, I didn't know anybody had been to the bottom of it.
Oh my gosh. I knew that James Cameron
I thought it was one of those things that people had gone really far, but never quite made it. Because I didn't know we had done that. But
it wasn't until a few decades ago. I mean, it's not been long.
So 1960 was the first time anyone did it.
Wow.
And it was Don Walsh and Jacques Picard. Jacques Picard. Oh, Picard. I wonder if that's where they got the name.
I don't know.
That would make a lot of sense. Next Generation got Picard from somebody who explored the deepest part of the planet.
He did go where no man has gone before.
Oh, nerds.
Interesting. So they went down there in 1960, and it wasn't until James Cameron did it again in 2012 did anyone try it again.
The year we graduated from college.
Yeah, and he was the first person to also do it solo.
I didn't know that. I assumed he had supervision.
That's wild.
But he did it in the Deep Sea Challenger, which is funny because it's called the Challenger Deep, and he did the Deep Sea Challenger. So he did that. He did it by himself and he was again the first person to do it by themselves. And then this guy named Victor Vescovo, he just kind of turns it into a business pretty much. Okay. He does 2 solo dives. He breaks James Cameron's, or he breaks the depth record by about 60 feet. and then he starts making trips out of it. He takes people down there. It's just he's turned it into pretty much like a show.
Everybody's been going in the limiting factor.
Yeah, the limiting factor is the submersible that he used for, let's see, 19 trips. He used the same submersible, so pretty amazing. But then in 2020, since 2022 in July, nobody else has gone back to do it. So
All right.
I feel like there's. It's
been a couple
I
years.
feel like maybe it's got some untapped potential, or is it boring and there's nothing down there?
I don't know.
No, nothing exciting or anything like that. But I think it's really amazing. I think it'd be cool if we found some more species. I was disappointed in every write-up that I found about anything that's occurred there. They always end it with, and one of the things that they found was trash and wrappers. It's just going to show how far humanity's hubris and rejection of Mother Earth has gone to destroy habitats. And it's like, come on, like was anyone in this thing going, oh, I'm surprised to find trash all the way down here? It's like, no, everybody knew there's trash everywhere. You think that bottle's just stopped sinking somewhere? Just this is far enough.
It is sad to think that the barrel-eyed fish has to stare at somebody's Coke can,
Maybe it turned that Coke can into a nice home. Maybe it cut itself and it died. And its jelly ass floated out.
Well, I love your love of nature. Sorry.
My headphone got ripped out. My Mariana Trench 101. I felt like that was like a 101 class, but I also found it so interesting that I was okay with doing a 101.
He was frustrated because he was like, I don't want to look up the Mariana Trench CCNS. I just do it, and then he did it, and then he's just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
I just like that I just didn't understand. I was completely wrong.
You thought you were so smart, and then you're just like, wait a minute.
Turns out I didn't know anything.
Well, I'm glad that you know stuff now, and dear listener, I hope that you learned something new, and if not,
keep it strange.
You keep it strange. I am talking about something that's like very different, but also
that's good that we didn't
under the ocean. Topic. Yeah, thank goodness. I am talking about the Baltic Sea anomaly.
Whoa.
And this is something I'd never heard of.
It's pronounced anemone.
Very funny. I didn't know this thing existed until James was like, Cece, you should talk about the Baltic Sea anomaly. And I'm like, you know what?
Jiminy Cricket all of a sudden.
I'll look into it. And in this case, if geography is not your favorite thing in the world, and you're like, I have no idea where the Baltic Sea is, it is in northern Europe. And it's brackish water.
Mm.
Yeah. And that means it's
That's
not
where
quite as
blue-eyed
salty.
people come from. Not the sea itself, but like
is
the coastline.
brackish mean it's not quite as salty?
It's not
is that
quite
what that
as
means?
salty.
It's kind of like where the ocean and the freshwater meet, sort of, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So I've never known what that word means. I'm learning a lot today.
Yeah. I always thought that brackish was just like, I don't know, there's something choppy about the water.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's not clear.
Brackish.
Yeah,
no, it's
like
where the freshwater rivers feed into the sea and then they mix with the water from the Atlantic Ocean, so it's brackish.
We really need to run this up the chain to get this word changed.
And you know what else that the Baltic Sea has in it aside from low salt content?
Fish.
An anomaly.
Oh.
That anomaly being a circular structure at the very bottom. And it kind of looks like, when you're looking at it, it kind of looks like the Millennium Falcon. It's got these like lines that run across it. And it swept the world by fire when it was discovered in 2011 during a treasure hunting expedition, of all things. So this group of people with oceanics, I'm sure you've heard of them, including these guys named Peter Lindbergh and Dennis Asberg, were looking for shipwrecks in the Gulf of Bothania.
Bothania.
I don't know how to say it. It's Bothnia. Nia.
That's right.
Yeah, and their sonar picked up this odd circular structure in the water, and they're like, what is that? And
Frisbee.
They had to be super secretive about it in its location because they didn't want any other groups going and encroaching on their discovery. Because remember, they're out here looking for treasure. This particular group of people supposedly went and found a whole bunch of other treasure in shipwrecks around the world. So yeah, I saw some article that I read, and I won't quote it because it was wrong. It was like, they found a Fabergé egg. And I was like, why didn't I know about that? Because that's one of my favorite episodes we've ever done on the show, was when I got to talk about Fabergé eggs. Like, I feel like I would have known if they found a Fabergé egg in a shipwreck, but they didn't. Fake news.
Disappointing.
Yeah. Anyways, they did find a whole bunch of champagne, though, apparently. Alcohol.
Oh.
Bottled alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, they started planning this expedition because they want to go and like get closer to discovery. They want to see, what did we find? This giant circular thing at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. So they tried to make sure that they weren't trackable. Every time they went out, they were like, turn off your cell phone. Make sure nobody can find us. It's a top secret dive. So they turn off all their equipment, and then one day they're out here just kind of like trying to find it because they lost it for a little while. They found it, and then they lost it. I'm like, we got to find it again. The Swedish military pulls up in this huge military vessel, and they're just like, what's going on? And they just kind of stared at each other. But the Baltic Sea is international water, so they're like, well, they can't really do anything. So I guess the military was just sitting over here watching them for a while. It was really weird. Oceanics just continued on with their lives, and they're like, okay, let's start doing this stuff. And then all of a sudden, their equipment starts to malfunction. They're like, what's going on? And to this day, nobody really knows. The military vessel eventually just like sailed away, but they had to work to get their equipment back up and running. And it's like, did they try to jam their equipment?
Oh.
I don't think they did.
Oh.
But maybe. Yeah, aliens. They don't want anybody to see what the circular item at the bottom of the sea is. There's brackish water covering it. So this anomaly is about 90 meters under the water, and it's massive. It's
massive.
It's a huge, big circle thing.
So
it's
my
not
frisbee theory is not working.
Your
out.
frisbee theory is completely wrong.
Not unless you got a 200-foot frisbee.
Yeah, it's 200 feet wide. I saw something that said that it was 700 feet long, but I'm like, it's supposed to be a circle. How's that?
Yeah, it don't add up to me.
No,
Maybe
it doesn't add up to me either.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's 15-ish feet tall.
We don't use math terms here.
I'm not good at math. Today
Same.
at the kids' holiday party, we had a game where we had to count numbers, and I let Alex handle the whole thing because it was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, those kids, they need to work on their math skill, let me tell you.
Yeah, they were quite off. Anyways.
So I got 210. I'm like, no, you didn't. Get 220.
This small structure. No. It's not a small structure is what I meant to say. It's a big structure. But the question is it man-made or is it natural?
Natural.
And it supposedly has little triangular shapes on it. I tried to look at these quote-unquote triangular shapes. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. But they're supposedly there. But it does have those symmetrical lines that run across the surface, which is kind of weird. And then there are some sections that are like at sharp right angles, and the surface is black in color. So these divers, they went down, they took a couple of black stones from the site so they could like go and get them analyzed because it could indicate volcanic origin. But the Baltic Sea, it came to be thousands of years ago from glaciers.
Yeah.
It's covered in glaciers during the Ice Age. They melted, then they refroze, and they melted, and now we have the Baltic Sea. So the main theory is that it's possible that glaciers moved huge rocks, and they shifted and moved, and it's this little circular structure. That's what most people think. They think it's a glacial deposit.
Interesting.
And the symmetrical lines are just from rocks being dragged by the glaciers. I don't know. I have no idea. The more fun theory, obviously, is that this thing is man-made.
It better be.
Yeah, and there's some people who are like, it's man-made. It's man-made. But how is it man-made? What was it put down there? Could it be from an alien civilization? Some people are like, it's aliens. Clearly aliens. Could be a spacecraft. It does look a little bit like the Millennium Falcon if you look at it. But funding for this project to look at it and map the area, it disappeared and it melted away much like the glaciers. And so nobody knows what this thing is. but most scientists think that it is natural. It's just very odd since it is so circular and it's got those right angles. James, I want to know, what do you think?
Did it really melt, or did it just fly back home?
Oh.
Yeah, what if it was a spaceship landing strip? Some people do think that the lines look like something was like, you know, maybe it was like a place where something could take off, or I don't know.
Trippy.
Look it up. Try and come up with your own theories and send them to us. 13th Floor Podcast at gmail.com.
I think it's a glacial deposit.
I think it's natural,
Big
but
old glacial deposit.
it's fun to think it's aliens, though. And James, I'll be honest, I have literally no idea what you're going to talk about today.
I'm talking about, mine's kind of a mixed bag. I know people prefer when I talk about one thing for a while, but it was just hard to catch my attention. But the one thing that I do find very interesting, this is what I initially set out to cover. I'm actually going to begin with a letter from a Confederate warship captain.
Oh my gosh.
He was on the CSS Alabama. And this Captain Sims. And I got to say, I get concerned for the future when I read anything written by people in the 19th century, because it's like, this guy was not a scholar, and yet it's beautiful. So here we go. January 30th, 1864. At about 8 p.m., there being no moon, but the sky being clear and the stars shining brightly, we suddenly passed from deep blue water, in which we had been sailing, into a patch of water so white that it startled me. The whole face of nature seemed changed, and with but little stretch of the imagination, the Alabama might have been conceived to be a phantom ship, lighted up by the sickly and unearthly glare of a phantom sea. Isn't that beautiful?
Milky water.
Yeah, around the horizon there was a subdued glare, or flush, as though there were a distant illumination going on, whilst overhead there was a lurid, dark sky. And lots of people have described this. In 1370, actually, this is so weird to think that there was somebody with this job in 1370. Al-Damiri was an Egyptian zoologist. Yeah, 1370. And he did not really know what to make of this, because he had documented in his zoological dictionary bioluminescent insects, like lightning bugs. But he didn't know what to make of this. And similarly, 100 years later, Columbus saw lights in the ocean, and he was like, what is this? Lots of people have done this. The Dutch have noted at times when they've been sailing that sometimes the ocean looks like a prairie rife with snow. It's just it's so bizarre. And we've really not understood what this is. It's called the Milky Sea phenomenon, but we don't flipping know what it is. We do know that it's observable from space. So you're talking about big swaths of the ocean glowing with a beautiful white light, like almost as if the moon is under the sea instead of over the sea. And
is it white or blue?
It looks like it's just kind of glowing, yeah.
Yeah, it can. There are instances of blue glowy oceans, but that is usually we've known about that for a while. These bioluminescent bacteria that pretty much upon contact turn blue, and they do that to reproduce. It's actually a really beautiful and amazing thing. It's straight magical. It looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's on our planet. Mm-hmm. But we know that there's a lot of bioluminescent animals that live in the ocean. There's marine worms that when they do mating dances, they come up to the water surface in big groups and they glow. But we really didn't know until very, very recently what the cause of this was. And ultimately, it's probably, again, we don't really know for sure, but we do know that there are dinoflagellates and copepods and other forms of plankton, which plankton is such a funny word because it's just means anything that's little in the ocean. It is not like a definition. But what we think now, and by now I mean like last year basically, as of last year, is that what's happening is you've got these algal colonies on the water's surface, and they bloom and they die. And when they die, their cells rupture. When their cells rupture, lipids are released into the water, and then they are consumed by bacteria. Those bacteria, because they now have a fat source, grow a whole lot, and there's so many of them that they're able to glow nonstop. So it basically it's binge eating bacteria that they think is the cause of this. But it's such a fascinating phenomenon because, again, it's been talked about for millennia. And as of last year, we've kind of figured this out now. And a lot of this is because of the U.S. Navy. And it's because let's say you're in a submarine and you're driving through and all of a sudden the ocean turns milky. Well, now any enemy can see you. So they were like, we need to start looking into this a little more. And that's led to a multitude of theories, but that's the one that people seem to think makes the most sense because it does seem to follow shortly after algal blooms. So I think it's a really reasonable assertion, but it's something that we still don't really know. It's an
often is it reported each year?
Oh, it's a pretty sporadic thing. So that's part of the problem. It can happen in a lot of places, but I don't really know what the frequency is. That's an interesting question. I've seen pictures of it that, it's funny. There have been some, this was in 2019, south of Java. There was one that was the size of Kentucky. And that's literally what they compared it to, 40,000 square miles. And it was visible. It was a continuous glow for 45 nights.
That's wild.
Great.
But also really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. It's trippy. And, you can't do anything when it's like that, like as far as diving, because you can't see anything. You can't sample things. It's just going into it blind because it's a glowing, opaque ocean. So, yeah, I find that absolutely fascinating. Doubly so because of just the fact that it's been a mystery. It's something we've known about a long time, and only now are we maybe uncovering the answer to that.
Interesting.
And it makes me wonder if we are able to isolate the bacteria or whatever it happens to be that is doing this luminescence. Maybe there's some use we could get out of that.
Make ourselves glow.
Yeah, there we go. That'd be really interesting. It reminds me of those glowfish where we took a protein from bioluminescent jellyfish, put them in living cells, and they're used
fish that are like neon pink.
Right. More practically, we can use it to mark proteins in living cells, and that's phenomenal for isolating genes and things like that. But it's just such a fascinating thing. And something else I wanted to talk about, very unrelated, but it's relatively new, and that's why I wanted to cover it. And it's also because this is the last segment. I wanted to save this for last just because I think it's kind of a feel-good story. 2 new things have been discovered with orcas. One is less cool, but it's still flipping cool. So people noticed that killer whales had been diving through kelp forests. And that in and of itself doesn't seem that surprising, but they would very carefully grab the stalk near the base with their teeth and then drag the plant to cut a little segment off. And that's kind of weird in and of itself. Then they'd flip the tool onto their head and they'd go up to another orca and start rolling it between each other. Like, like when you think about when people do those, those rolly things that you massage your muscles with to work out, that's what they're doing. They're going back and forth. And people are like, what are they flipping doing? And it was discovered, noticing just the overall habits of these whales, that when they are accruing dead skin, that's when they do this. So they're exfoliating. That's what this is.
Cool.
They're making tools and they're using it to groom themselves.
That is cool.
And
smart.
it's like a little social thing too. It's kind of like when monkeys pick the lice off each other, except less gross. So I just think that's really cool. That's a very, like, when I say new, I mean that's like as of this year, something that's been observed. So one, that's really cool. But even cooler in relation to killer whales, I just think this is. I've been thinking about this for a while because ever since I saw it. Cece, you mentioned the petting tanks. Are there any of those exhibits at aquariums where you can kind of like feed the little animals?
I don't know about feeding little animals.
Sure.
You can feed a giraffe, but are you talking about like in an aquarium?
Yeah.
I don't know about any feeding
worries.
ones.
Well, I think it's kind of neat, and I think says something wonderful about our planet, that the most intelligent and potentially destructive species on Earth, us, loves petting and feeding animals, and animals love to be petted and to be fed. I just think that's such a nice thing about Earth. But this is the first time that we've observed this in nature, but mainly because we've been paying attention, that the reverse happens as well. So
we love being pet and fed by animals.
Yeah. So what's happened? We've heard of this, and I would like to point out that even though orcas are terrifying, the ones in the wild have actually never killed a person. And I think that's interesting. They certainly do in captivity, but I don't think that's a fair assessment given the circumstances. But what's really nuts is there have been instances where people have been diving or swimming, just swimming on the surface, and killer whales will approach them. And they will offer them food. Lots of different kinds of food, too. Fish, stunned stingrays, sadly, incapacitated sharks, dead birds, just the whole 9 yards. And they would, again, we're talking about a very intelligent animal that's making tools and grooming themselves. They would approach the humans, offer the food, and observe the humans and wait for a reaction. And if the person ignored the food, the whales would get the item as it's drifting away, and then try again. And then if that didn't work, they would give the food to some of their pod mates, and then they would usually leave. And sometimes a person will toss the food back to the whale, who will then toss it back to the human. So how many times do you think this has been observed? Because this is very recent.
Oh.
I wouldn't say many times.
I mean, once you did that, I would think that they would just keep going back. 3 times.
Close. 34. So
How many?
Not close. 34.
34.
Yeah.
Wow.
And even more interesting, because whales are very intelligent. Orcas are more like porpoises, but anyway, they're very intelligent, and you might think, well, this is some weird trend, because they do have trends and fads and accents and all sorts of things that we associate with humans. Maybe this is kind of like, when the orcas were wearing dead birds as hats in some pods, and that was a real thing, by the way. It's a fashion choice. Maybe it's a fun thing that one orca did and others have imitated it. Here's the problem. This has happened and been observed in 6 different populations across 4 oceans. So this is
not something that's just traveling around.
Right. What's more likely is 2 things. One, they are being kind of calculating. They're trying to learn more about us, what we eat, what we do, because they're seeing us more and more, in their environment. Maybe they're being calculating where it's like, they've been fed by humans, and so they're noticing, well, maybe if we give humans food, they'll feed us more. It's kind of like when cats and dogs give their human owners a present, because that's a common thing that every pet owner is probably familiar with in some respect or another. It's just reciprocating. You give me something, I give you something. But what I think is just as likely is the most optimistic and fun element, which is the same reason why we sometimes feed animals, which is I think they just think we're cute.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think that's probably it, because we have instances in recorded history all the way back to antiquity of dolphins rescuing drowning people, because they understand that we're not very adept in their environment. We know that dolphins know when a woman is pregnant from their sonar, and they're very fascinated by pregnant women. So maybe this is just orcas treating people like petting zoo animals, and I like that.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Makes me think, because it's like the way you speak about them, it's like they have their own little culture.
They kind of do.
Yeah, if they have their own little orca houses under the water where they go at the end of the day to relax, and then they come together for a little potluck.
They are intelligent enough.
If there's like a white man that shows up after they give them food.
Oh gosh, I do know that dolphins are intelligent enough to actively seek drugs. They do drugs in the ocean. I think we've talked. Well, I know we've talked about tetrodotoxin a lot. A little bit of it will really get you high. Apparently, at least not. I don't know about humans, but it does it to dolphins. So they will badger blowfish in groups and get high together.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. It's super weird. And I do know that killer whales are so intelligent, they have come to understand, this was a mystery for a few years, that they understand that shark liver is an extremely nutritious food, and so they will attack great whites with almost surgical precision and just remove the liver and eat that. So they do a lot of stuff.
How do they even know what a liver is?
Right.
You know?
I mean, yeah, they know where it is. They know how to extract it. They know the most efficient way to stun the shark so they can extract it. So they're clever animals.
It's the orca's world, and we're just living in it.
I just picture the shark waking up in an ice bath, like, oh.
Oh man, yeah. Nobody tell the orcas we have livers, because I don't think they need to know that.
No.
They do now.
Well, yeah, I wonder if they're listening to our podcast under the sea.
Oh, that's concerning.
Podcast.
Oh.
Good joke, Alex. Well, James, that was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
That was a good way to end this episode, on a nice happy note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After Alex's Mariana Trench,
nothing was bad about my
the
jelly
world is covered in trash comment.
It's so boring. It's so dull. We know there's trash. Shocker.
But you know what? The orcas are like, nope, we're going to take care of it.
That's right. Hopefully they're not taking care of the shark livers and not people,
Yeah, listen. This has been a fun episode. Alex, who does our music?
Our music is by Grant Cook. You can find his music on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, anywhere you listen to music.
So until next week, we hope that you can.
Wait, James's words of wisdom.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me today? James, what's your word of wisdom?
If you accept food from a killer whale, you should probably cook it first.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen. Hey, finish the show. Wrap it up.
Oh, until next week. We hope that you can
Keep
It's strange.
Good gravy.